Hey everybody, welcome back to Jimmy's Promo, and today we're going to talk about 10 awesome tips to control your Samsung Galaxy device. Now in front of me here is the Galaxy S20, but the majority of all 10 of these will work with any Samsung phone. Now the first tip that we'll talk about today is a way that you're able to swipe along the bottom if you're using full gestures. Now this is a way that you're able to go between the last two applications that was used. It's very similar as if you were to double tap on the Recents button if you have those icons on the bottom. So if you double tap Recents, it'll switch your previous application. You double tap it again, it'll go right back into the app you were just using. So this is pretty much the exact same thing, but you're not able to do it if you swipe on the bottom. You know, if you're trying to go from the right hand side to the left hand side, it works when you go from the left over to the right. Now how you're able to turn this one on is once you go inside of your settings, make sure you go underneath Display, and then underneath Display, you just want to take a look at your navigation bar. Now inside of the navigation bar, you can see that I am not using the buttons. I went to the full screen gestures, and even underneath the more options, you just want to make sure that you choose this one here. So there is gestures you can use for Recents, home and back, but this is so old school and it's just clunky. You might as well just use this clean interface here, which is where you're able to swipe from the edges, or you can swipe from the bottom to go back or to go home. Now, along with this will bring you the option and the ability to actually switch between applications. You can see that switching icon right there. That's really all you're doing. And again, you can see that it went from the settings over into Twitter because these are the last two applications that I was using on this phone. Now, if you want to take a look at all the rest of the applications, all you'd have to do is swipe up and hold, and it's going to show you all your other applications. The second tip is a way that you're able to put your phone quiet for a while. So sometimes you might find yourself putting this thing right over there into mute because maybe you went to a movie or you're in a meeting, or maybe you just have a headache. You don't want your phone, to make any type of sounds, but you're able to do it for a certain amount of time. So what you want to do is press and hold on this icon. And then as you scroll through, you can see with sound, you also have vibrate, but when you go to mute, you can have a temporary mute, and you can have it mute for, let's say, 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3 hours to get rid of that headache or go through the rest of the movie. Now, before we cover the rest of the tips, if you guys are brand new here at the channel of Jimmy is Promo and you appreciate these videos, you might as well just hit that subscribe button. About 83% of you watching this video that is getting helped are not subscribed. And also don't forget about that bell for notifications. About 16% of you have the option of all that is selected, which means the majority of you are not getting notified of future videos, even if you are a subscriber. The third one I want to cover is the dynamic lock screen. So this one's actually really fun. It's a way that you're able to see a different lock screen every single time that your phone times out. So for this little portion of the video, I'm just going to turn it on, turn it off, so you can see the different type of wallpapers you're able to see. Now this one is only underneath the category of art. You are able to go through and change your categories, and how you're able to do that is by pressing and holding on your home screen anywhere where there is no folder or icon. You want to tap on wallpapers, and then underneath wallpaper, tap on wallpaper services. Now underneath here, it might say none, and you want to switch it over into dynamic lock screen. Now once you've selected that, now you can go inside of your settings over here, and you can choose which category you would like to pop up. So let's go underneath select category. You have landscapes, life, food, and pets. So let's say that we do landscape. So we're going to try this one next. Now that it's done downloading, it did apply it itself. Now, when you have all of these ones that are downloaded already and you want to switch between them, all you'd have to do is just switch the one you would like to use. These little down arrows means that you have to download it. And all these images gets updated every 2 weeks. So we chose the option of landscape. So let's just take a look at what pops up. So here's one of the landscapes. So you have mountains with grass. And you also have one that's kind of like a deserted island, a little beach that's in the middle of some mountains. That'd be pretty fun to go to. So this is a way that you're able to have different wallpapers come up. So if you're somebody who gets a little bored of their wallpapers, either lock screen or home screen, and you would like to have something kind of change, then you're able to have this option here. Now, as a fun little intermission, I'm going to stop here real quick. I want to ask you guys at some point, any point in this time of this video, make sure you watch all of these 10 tips, but write a comment below on which one was your favorite or which one you just learned today. For the fourth tip, you do need to have the application right here downloaded that's called Good Lock. Now, if you're inside of the United States, you want to go inside of your Samsung folder, go inside of your Galaxy store, search for Good Lock, and once you have Good Lock installed on your phone, when you open this one up, you want to go inside of your task changer. Now, if you're not a part of the United States, if you're overseas, you can use VPNs, making it look like you're from somewhere else to get this downloaded, or you can also use an application called Nice Lock. Now, inside of Task Changer, this is where you want to just turn this one on and then choose any of these options here. Now, there's a lot of really cool different task changers you can use. You got Slim List. The one I usually use is Grid. It kind of shows me the application, but it's listed in a way that I can see multiple ones at the exact same time. Now, once you have this one turned on, now you actually have your task changer that's sitting right here. And then now once this is open, you have this icon on the bottom left-hand side. It's a way that you're able to open up applications with multi-window, or you can even do pop-up. So let's say that you press and hold. You can drag and drop these, and I can put this one right here for a pop-up view, so it'll be pretty small. But when you try to put it towards the bottom, you won't really be able to do it unless if you have another application open. So let's say that we open up let's go up over here. Let's find an application. Let's say that we look up over in Twitter. Now, once you're inside of Twitter, I'm gonna go right over here. I'm gonna tap on this window here, but now I also wanna open up YouTube. Now I could put YouTube on the bottom, or I could put YouTube on the top. So if I bring it onto the bottom, this is a way I'd be able to watch videos, but also read people's posts and respond back. The next tip I want to talk about is a way that you're able to control your keyboard or also control your cursor. So I opened up Google Messages, but I need to switch over into the Samsung keyboard because it's built inside of the Samsung keyboard. So let's say that you wanted to go through and you just wanted to type some things. You could be like, hey, what's up? But you needed to move your cursor. So if you needed to move this around a little bit easier, all you have to do is press and hold on the spacebar, and then you can put it somewhere else. So if you needed to change something up. So if this was a longer message, I'd be able to put it right there. Maybe I'd hit on the back button. This is where you put in your question mark. But you can really see how this is going to come in handy without me, trying to go through here and try to switch this thing around with this little button here. You can press and hold here, and you can actually switch it right there. So it's a little bit easier to use the cursor control from the spacebar. The next tip I want to cover is inside of the camera, and this is where you can control your zoom. Now, the big thing about this one here is that you do have preset numbers and such, like the 3x, the 1x, the 0.5. You have these ones down here. Sometimes you might need to zoom in and just try to manually do it with 2 fingers. But there might be a situation where you cannot use 2 fingers. You really only have your 1 thumb or your 1 finger to take a picture. So if you're trying to, really get that exact zoom, just press and hold on one of those icons and then move it around. It's a way that you're still able to zoom in and out, but you're doing it with 1 finger. So again, you tap on any of these 3 icons. So I'm going to tap right here, and then now you can just move this across. You can get it exactly where you need it to be without the need and requirement of 2 fingers. The next tip I want to cover is one that you're able to launch applications really fast. So as you go through all these different applications inside your recent apps, there might be an application that you use all the time. One of those could be, let's say, YouTube, and you can see that there's an icon right there. So you're able to lock the application. Now, it could state one of 2 things. When you tap on this icon here, it's either going to say lock this app, or it's going to say keep for quick launching. It's the exact same thing. It just depends if you have a carrier-based phone or an unlocked phone. This one right here is unlocked, so it says lock this app. If yours is carrier-based, it'll say keep for quick launching. And so really all that's happening is that it is storing this application in the RAM, making it super fast to open up. So there will not be that reloading screen again because it doesn't have to load if it's already sitting in your RAM ready to go. Open it up really quick. And so that's another way. Let's say that you wanted your video to always be there. If you don't have the option to, save last mode, this is a way that you're able to keep this application locked or running. So this way, every time you open up your camera application, it'll always be on video. So again, all you'd have to do is tap on that little icon, lock this application. Now, when you go through here, you hit on close all. What's going to happen is that there's only going to be 2 applications left, and it's the 2 that you've locked. When you open up your camera, boom, you're still on video. Usually what happens when you close out of this is that does go away and it defaults over into photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of all of that, click on this, and you can see it went right back into photo because I unpinned it. Tip number 8 that we're going to talk about is one that's inside of your Edge panels over here. So once you open up Edge panel, go to the panel that is called apps. Now what we want to do is create a app pair, something that actually makes sense, something that you're going to use. So I'm going to go right over here that's called create app pair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find maps, but I'm also going to find YouTube music, because maybe you're going to be driving somewhere and you also want to control the music that is Bluetooth to your car. Now you can switch this on whichever one you think is more important that you need to look at on the top or on the bottom. And then once it's there, you can hit on done. And then once it is done and saved, you can open up your Edge panel with one click of a button. You'd be able to go right over here. You got your Google Maps and you also have your music just ready to go the way that you would like it to be set up. Tip number 9 is one that really makes your life really easy. It makes you do less things on your phone. And it's a way that you're able to set up Bixby Routines. So I'm going to go inside of here with Bixby Routines, and you can discover things, you can create ones, you can find and notice what other people have created and what Samsung's created. You can go underneath My Routines, and this is where you can create some stuff. So I've got this one over here that I can turn on, and it's for movie. So it's going to turn my brightness down to 5%, and it'll put my sound and volume over into mute. Now the one that I have over here is one that is already toggled on. So is this one over here. This one's also toggled on. So I created this one called Alarm, because sometimes I forget to set an alarm, or if I needed to set an alarm. So every single day between the time of 8 and 8:30, it only comes up once, which is the one time that I unlock my phone, or the first time I unlock and look at my phone between this time frame. It'll let me know that I need to set an alarm by opening the app. So every single day, sometime between 8 and 8:30, the first time I pick up my phone in that time frame, my alarm screen is turned on, is basically opened for me to know, hey, do I need to set an alarm? And then this one right here is a way you're able to save battery at night. So I put it up as if the time is between 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. And if my phone is not charging, which usually it never charges at night, just sitting on the little nightstand, then it'll go into medium power saving mode. And so it's just really nice to have this, because maybe your phone is going down in battery percentage, and at this time you should be sleeping anyways. So it's going to put it in the medium power saving mode for you. And I usually like to have the running notification, because in this way, if there's something I'm trying to do on my phone and it doesn't allow me to, then sometimes things are restricted when you set things up through Bixby Routines, because you might put your phone in battery saving mode, something like this. So it's going to make your phone run a little slower. So it's nice to have a little notification on the top letting you know that something is running, but it's a small little notification on the top. Now, this very last one is one that is very easy, it's quick, but it's one that you definitely need because it's a way to control your phone. You can see just how quick I am to get into those quick settings, and it's by going through and turning on the option where that when you pull down, it opens up your notifications panel. So all you have to do is press and hold anywhere on the screen where there's no app or folder, tap on this little settings icon here, and you turn this one on, which is swipe down for notification panel. Now, if this one was turned off, all I'm going to be doing is switching between my app tray, and it does not help. These phones are getting taller and taller as the years goes on, and so you got to have longer and longer thumbs to go to the very top. So if you turn this one on right here, you can be anywhere on the screen, and you're able to pull down your notifications panel. You can go inside of your quick settings super quick. You can pull it down twice to open up everything and expand it, and you can still get to your application tray just by swiping up. So it's just one of those nice things to have. It's one of the very first things I ever do when I turn on a phone and I first get it activated is I have to turn on that setting. But I hope you guys have liked this video. If you guys did, please give this thing a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe right over here on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.